Hello, good morning. So today I'm going to explore or to show you on how to set up Cygwin, Cygwin, and also code block for our TCPIP programming class. Okay, so I have downloaded the Cygwin installer. So for those who haven't, then you can go to Cygwin, alright, search for Cygwin, Cygwin. Right, so Cygwin, and then download the latest version of the installer. Okay, so you can go to install Cygwin. Right, so in my case I'll be taking this part, installing and updating Cygwin for 64-bit version of Windows. Okay, so you can take setup x86-64. Right, so for those who are using other OS, you don't have to use Cygwin. Okay, so for those who are using Linux, it is already, because Cygwin is basically, it's just a Linux environment in Windows. Right, so for Mac OS you don't have to install this, same goes to Linux. Right, and then next you need to download code block. Right, so what you can do, go to code block. Okay, search for code block, then you will get code blocks. Alright, so this is code blocks website. So click downloads. Right, click downloads, and then download the binary release, and then search for Windows. Right, so there are a lot of lists here, so take the 4th version, 1, 2, 3, 4. So take this one, code block 2003 MinW setup. Okay, so in this case what happens that it will install code block together with another compiler called MinGW. Okay, another compiler called MinGW, but do not install code block until you have completed installation of Cygwin. Right, now back to my installer. So this is my Cygwin installer, so I'm going to run the installer. Right, so yes, Cygwin net release setup, click next. Do you want to install from the internet? Yes. Okay. Right, so I'm going to put my Cygwin at C directory. Okay, so this is just for easy reference. Alright, so I'm not going to change the basic default here. Alright, and then this will be my local package directory. It will be put inside my download and teaching. Okay, download and teaching. Again, I just put it here so that it will be easier for me to delete the file later on. Alright, so in this case I'm going to use direct connection because I don't have a system proxy setting and whatnot. Next. Alright, so it will download the file first. Okay, so in this case you need to choose the nearest download site to Malaysia. I think I'm just going to take Cygwin mirror constant. Okay, so yeah, nothing, so it's quite difficult for us to determine which one that is near to Malaysia at this moment, right? So I just take cygwinmirrorconstant.com. Right, click next. So it will download the file. Okay, so one thing about Cygwin is that it will install the base package. Okay, it will only install the basic package. So what we need to do now, we need to install a few more extra packages. Okay, first click archive. I'm not sure whether you can see this because it is quite small. Alright, click archive, ARCHIVE. Alright, archive, and then search for GCC. Okay, we need to search for GCC. Alright, let me check GCC, or I can just search for GCC. Alright, there you go. We have debug, GCC debug info MinGW. Okay, so these are some of the GCC that we may need later on. Alright, so in this case I'm going to choose Cygwin32 GCC debug info. Alright, I will take that. So here it says skip, meaning that it will not install the file, so just install it. Okay, so in this case I'm going to take version 6.4. Alright, and then GCC debug info, let's take 11.201. Okay, 11.201. MinGW you don't have to because it will be installed together with code block. Okay, it will be installed together with code block. Alright, and then there is something else called devel here, devel. Alright, so in this case we also need the GCC. Okay, so in this case let's take GCC. Wait, let me check if I miss out something. Object min GW. Okay, let's take Cygwin GCC core, Cygwin 32 GCC core. Alright, so choose the 6.4, and then I don't need Fortran, I don't need G++, ada core Fortran. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, yeah, one more GCC core. GCC core, yeah, let's take that. Okay, I will take 11.2.0.1. Okay, and then yep, that's it I think. Okay, and then here make sure you also install the debug. Okay, the debug for the debug checklist here. So here debug info, I have that, this guy over here, and then I have Cygwin, then I have Cgcore. Right, I think that's all that I need for us to run our C program. Let me check. Okay. Yep, I think that's all. Okay, then next search for makefile, makefile. Okay, search for make. Okay, so what is makefile? Makefile is basically a package that will allow you to compile the file using one particular instruction called makefile. Right, one particular instruction called makefile. So this is basically a Linux package, but we are going to install it inside our machine. Okay, so let me check which one that we need to take. I think we need to take this make here. Right, take 4.3-1. Make sure that you also click the right hand side column. Okay. Right, and then take automix 1.6, a tool for generating GNU compliant makefile. Alright, so let's take that. Okay. Debug info for iMake, CMake, debug. Okay, make debug info. Okay, we also need that because if the make instruction fail, then we will get the error message. So take 4.3-1. Alright, so that will be it. Yep, I think that's all. Yep, that's all. Okay, so those are all the extra packages that we need. Okay, GCC and makefile. Okay, however, let's say after we install this and then suddenly our C program cannot run, so don't worry, because you can run this installer again, and then you can choose other packages to add in. Right, so no worries. Right, so click next. Alright, so now it will start installing all the packages into our machine. So the more packages you choose, the bigger the Cygwin installation will be. Alright, but depends on your machine. So we try not to install unnecessary packages, but hopefully we choose the right package just now. So it might take some time because there are a lot of packages that need to be extracted and installed. Alright, so now our Cygwin installation is complete. Okay, so you can create icon on the desktop and then add icon on the start menu. Okay, just click finish. Okay, so we are done with our Cygwin. So what you can do is that click Windows, and then you should have this icon Cygwin 64 terminal. Okay, so this is only applicable for Windows 10 user. Okay, so search for Cygwin 64 terminal. Alright, so you will have this. Okay, so let me try if I can make this bigger. Alright, go. Okay, so we are currently in the Cygwin environment. So to check whether our C installer is working or not, so what you can do, just type gcc. So that is our C compiler -- version. So we just want to see whether we managed to capture the right version. So here we get our GCC version 11.20 copyright 2021. So this is the latest GCC version, or the latest C compiler version for C programming. Okay, one thing that I just would like to take your attention to. Okay, as you can see here, this is the name of my machine, right? This is the name of the user, and then this is the name of my machine. So what happens that if you are thinking where you are at this moment, so you are currently at the location of the home address. So by default, right, the home address for Cygwin is equal to the installation folder. Okay, so basically you are currently in the installation folder. So what I want you to do is that we are going to change our home folder, okay, to go to the project folder. Okay, so that every time you open the terminal, there's no need for you to go to write cd/c/ the name of your user /desktop/ and whatnot. Okay, so first step, what you can do is that first let's create one folder on our desktop. So this is my desktop here. So I name my folder as TCPIP. Okay, right, TCPIP. So as you can see, inside my folder I have another folder called sample1, but that is not important. Okay, so now you have one folder on your desktop called TCPIP. So next we are going to set up our environment variable. So click the Windows icon, click setting, right, find a setting, search for about, ABOUT, alright, about, enter. Sorry, sorry, let me try again. About your PC. See, ABOUT, your PC, about your PC. Click that, and then search on the right hand side menu, click advanced system setting. Okay, advanced system setting, and then click environment variable. Okay, here you can see on the top part, user variable here, you can see I already have one variable called home. Okay, let's say if I delete that. Okay, so now we are going to create one variable called home. So what happens is that when we create that environment variable, automatically the Cygwin terminal will use that as our default folder. Okay, so click new. Okay, I'm going to type home. Okay, home, and then browse directory. I'm going to search for the TCPIP server as TCPIP folder on my desktop. So my desktop, okay, and then I have TCPIP. Choose. So this will be my default folder when I open my Cygwin terminal. Right, so just close everything, click OK. Okay, I'm going to kill off my terminal. Right. Okay, now open back the terminal. Okay, so if you want to know whether you are in the right folder or not, just type ls. Ls means list folder. So as you can see, it has another folder called sample1. So if you open my TCPIP just now, I have sample1. Right, so if you want to enter sample1, you just type cd sample1. Okay, so you are now in directory called sample1. Right, so we are good to go. Okay, so we are good to go.